Hey cuties, PeachY here. Welcome back to a new video, and in this video we're going to be breaking down the latest episode from the Monster High G3 animated series, episode 15, Growing Ghoulia / Casketball Jinx. So let's get into it. Growing Ghoulia starts off with Ghoulia in Mr. Moff Manson's foresight class, where he's actually, like checking if everyone's present. So he calls up their name, and then the student is supposed to say like here, so like Laguna's doing. Then he gets to Draculaura and she is not there, but then as Ghoulia turns back around, then she spots Draculaura just right there. After a split second, she is there. So that is definitely weird. And right away when this kept happening, as we'll see, this definitely gave me Prisoner of Azkaban vibes of Harry Potter, of Hermione and the Time Turner. So definitely very similar vibes. I mean, it's the same gimmick, they both had to do with time travel, but yeah, kind of a little bit of a ripoff, I would say. Just a little bit inspired, at least. For this month, this month they survive together. This honor roll they call horror roll, because it's the students, how many points they have, who's doing the best. It's really just about accomplishments, and here we can see the scoreboard so far. And honestly, I love those little chibi emojis that they have for some of the characters. So yeah, as Ghoulia explains, it's the school's leaderboard of students and like how good they're doing and like basically who's the best. And as we can see, Draculaura is number one. She's just an overachiever. She's a perfectionist. She does it all, and so she's always on top. So of course I love the scenes here with Laguna, putting out the fire. She's like, peace. I don't know, I just thought she looked so cool. And Ghoulia's last, so that's kind of sad. And Frankie's right there, so I mean, okay, Ghoulia's in good company. But yeah, zombies usually are not on top of the board because people misjudge them, thinking they're way too slow. But Ghoulia wanted to show them that just because she is undead doesn't mean that she's brain dead. So she worked really hard, but she still didn't get to number one. She got to number two. Of course, Draculaura beating Ghoulia. And so Ghoulia gets a little bit disappointed, but she still has a few more days to catch up to Draculaura. So she has a lot of stuff planned to make up for and get more points. So she goes to the library, she talks to Laguna a little bit, and then she encounters Draculaura. And then she goes to a new club meeting where Draculaura is also there a few seconds later, out of nowhere. And this is like a really interesting line. Draculaura says they would have missed that she would have missed the first meeting of the Ghoul Wraith Alliance, which is apparently a safe place for queer peers. So that is so fun that they actually just openly said queer, which I know is just so silly because it's a word, but I feel like it holds a lot of, I don't know, it's a divided word for people. I feel like nowadays it's like, oh no, queer, oh right. So it's like, and especially in a kids show, parents could take it such in the wrong way. I'm happy that Monster High is really doing the heavy lifting here with just representation, being inclusive, and just throwing the word queer in there, which I think most kids TV shows would not dare to do. But here Monster High as always is just usually one step ahead of us. So I don't know why. It's a small thing. It's like one line, it goes by in a second, but it just really shows that queer peers, it's a safe space. Like that just means so much to so many people, just let alone that they acknowledge the word. And like I mean, of course we have a few characters that are queer, but like that's not like spoken about. It's just it's established, it's acknowledged, but they don't really talk about, or so far they haven't really. So for Draculaura to really just say queer, it's like, wow, they're really going for it, and so good for them. But yeah, Ghoulia is attending this meeting, so I guess I don't think that necessarily means she's queer, but like it's a safe space for queer peers. So like Frankie here, who is non-binary, and Claudine, who we have now heard rumors that she's actually going to be a lesbian in season 2. So I guess some of these characters are part of the LGBTQ, and some of them are just allies, peers. So really fun. And then Deuce is there too, by the way. So, I feel like it's important to take note of who is attending here for future reference of, I don't know, maybe reveals of like sexualities. I don't know. But yeah, it's so Ghoulia goes to the next plan, which would be to feed Mortimer. He's a gargoyle, but Draculaura is there once again before her, out of nowhere. She's just always there, one step ahead of Draculaura, which next would be also the coffin bean. Draculaura got there before Ghoulia, and Ghoulia even saw her on the steps of Monster High before she left. So Ghoulia is, of course, very shocked, very confused. She crashes into a table, and she's just like not understanding like how she's so quick. So she follows Draculaura, and Draculaura goes to this tree, and apparently she has this like potion that obviously controls time or stops time. And what she's doing here is basically she digs it, she buries it in front of the great oak tree, and apparently by doing so it then grows on the branches, so she always has more of the potion to stop time. So that's how she's been doing it, and that's how it happens. And so Ghoulia now knows that Draculaura is a witch, and of course she's actually not bothered by it. She actually thinks it's cool, and actually she thinks it's more like unfair because Draculaura is using her witchcraft to get better and get better points and just be everywhere at once. Whereas, Ghoulia, for instance, she's doing so much hard work and she cannot get to first place. So it is a little bit of a cheat, right? A little bit of a cheat code. So Ghoulia definitely thinks of a great idea here. She thinks that if anything you bury in front of it gets multiplied and, into branches and they're basically clone, then Ghoulia, she thinks, okay, I'll just bury myself and then there'll be multiples of myself to get more points. So that's what she does. And then the next day, as you can see, there are just a ton of copies of Ghoulia walking around Monster High, just causing chaos, and just it's not good because obviously these are clones, and so they're really just heartless and brainless zombie replicas of Ghoulia. So they don't know what they're actually doing. They're just hollow shells. So they all just want points. So Draculaura immediately recognizes what this is. She goes back to the oak tree and talks to Ghoulia about it. Like, what did you do? And Ghoulia's like, you know what? I know what you're doing and I'm gonna win now. But then she goes to Monster High and she realizes that, damn it, she's done. So she and Draculaura have to go back to fix the problem. Now, Draculaura was about to, release like just one drop of the potion, apparently would have fixed everything, but then Ghoulia bumps into her and then all the potions fall on top of them, and then it freezes time apparently for centuries. So this is not good, obviously, because now apparently they could be frozen in time for like a long time, because one drop is already enough. But then of course Ghoulia, they have a great moment here where she explains that she just wanted to be the first of her kind to achieve something, like be the first in the school leaderboard, even though it's not like a huge deal, but to her it is, because it would have proven that people misjudged zombies. So it would have been a big deal. And then Draculaura also kind of like opens up about, she's a witch. So realizing that she did something wrong, Draculaura apologizes, and she actually finds a solution. By ripping away the band around the tree, they will undo all of the magic that the potions have caused. So they rip it away, and then it's like nothing had happened, and we're back at the beginning of the episode. And this time Draculaura doesn't just potion her way into class, magic her way into class. She's actually late this time, and then here we get a little cute ending moment between these two, finally establishing being friends. I guess they weren't friends before, but now they're officially friends, and Ghoulia now knows also that she is a witch. Now with Casketball Jinx, we start off with Claudine and the rest of the team practicing outside, and she talks about how getting to know Howleen outside of just being like pack mate, she also gets to know Helene a little bit better as a teammate. Because, you know, remember, Helene is no longer related to Claudine. They're not sisters anymore, or so. Like they don't have any blood connection. They're just friends in this generation, unfortunately. I do think it's a little bit weird. Like, I wish they were just siblings, you know, like cousins at least, but I don't think so. But anyways, it's fun, you know, they're playing along here, and it seems like they're having a good time. Heath doesn't land a goal, but that's when Claudine says something that, you know, unleashes all of the problems in this episode, where she says it's just for fun, and everyone gasps like it's just horrible, because apparently by saying that, you know, it's for fun, even when she meant something else, the, you know, Casketball gods, the spirits, the creators are angered, and then they will jinx the team. So now everyone believes that their team is jinxed. Well, they move on to actually perform to play against another team, and wouldn't you know it, apparently they lost, because I guess they're jinxed. They really are. Just by Claudine saying that one phrase, it just all went downhill. So Claudine obviously feels really guilty. Deuce obviously is just being the nice guy that he is. He's like, no, whatever solution you want to find out, we're all in it together, so we're all gonna help you. We're a team. And so he's like, what should we do? Claudine says that they should probably go to the library to find out some more information about the, you know, spirits that jinxed them. And then of course everyone like pulls off the 180. They're like, oops, I don't have time. So no one goes with her except for Deuce, unfortunately. Like even Laguna's like, just nope, sorry, I'm out of here, no gracias. Like, not for me. So, you know, not kind of shady from them, but anyways, he's so nice. He's like the only one who stuck around. And then Helene is like, I'll do my own research. So really interesting. And I'm just happy that Helene is back, y'all. Like, I know she has been in a couple episodes, like in the background and stuff, but like it's been a while since she's actually had anything to do. So I'm glad she's here, even if it's just a Casketball episode. So, because she really looks fun, and I feel like she just has a lot to offer. So back at the library, they go through a lot of information with the books. Apparently, the Casketball was invented by ancient athletes that we can see here, Madeira and Gakaiju. I can't even. But these are apparently kaijus. Like big monsters. They're big. They're like one of them is like a T-Rex, the other one's like a Cthulhu. How do you say that? Now, to get rid of the jinx, they do have to summon these two kaijus, which, by the way, if you don't know, kaijus are like just these huge monsters, basically. So they set up a seance or whatever performance that they have to do. Claudine is like saying the words, the spell, and then they summon these two humongous monsters who are apparently the creators. So these two monsters challenge Claudine to a Casketball game, and if she loses, then she'll never be able to play Casketball again. So they confide with Helene. They tell the other team members what's up, and that maybe they shouldn't, because it should be fun. And then Helene's like, don't say it again, you're gonna double jinx us. So, but then Laguna and the others agree that they should stand up for themselves and go up against the kaijus in this match. Helene, meanwhile, also found a way to turn this around and actually use this jinx against them. So apparently they can transfer the jinx via a crystal. But Helene, that she tells Claudine that this is basically like the way that they treated them, but Claudine isn't so sure about using it because they wouldn't be any better than them, right? So they would just be just as bad as they were. So the teams, they start, they gather around outside and they start playing a ferocious match, even though obviously you can see the size difference. There's just like a lot of power differences here that are kind of like unfair. And then of course, Howleen tells Claudine to use the crystal because she's just like, you know, we might as well. It seems they're losing, basically. They're losing like really bad, like really badly. So Claudine's really close to doing it, but then she pulls back because she remembers that no one deserves to, you know, get this fun joy taken away from them. So she decides, what the heck, you know, if this is going to be the last match that they're going to have, then they might as well have actual fun with it. So everyone joins in and they all just start playing like just how they would usually, just without thought, just having a good time, not thinking about, you know, what's gonna happen next, just fun. That's why they should do it. It's because it's fun. So the monsters start to think about, you know, like, why are they behaving this way? You know, like, why, if they lose, why are they laughing? It's, you know, it's like this, you know, like the lesson. Oh yeah, it's not about winning, it's about having fun, you know. So like it's the same thing here. It's definitely like a lesson for kids that it's just so obvious what they're trying to do here. And so Claudine talks to the monsters saying like, if it's not fun, then why do it? Like, they initially also started playing because they enjoyed it, right? And now they're fighting with each other, and so maybe they should stop fighting and jinxing. And then they agree, and the furry one speaks truth. So yeah, they win, the jinx is gone, and they finally can play normal again. And that is actually the end of the episode, because that's how it goes. So yeah, and that was the video. I hope y'all enjoyed. Leave a like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and become a member today so you don't miss out when I post more content like this coming your way daily and keeping you up to date with all the adulty you love. Stay safe, be kind. I hope this next time. Stay peachy. Kisses.